Hi, I'm with Cindy Palmer. This is Steve Lentini of Borax Paper. And Cindy, I wanted to ask you a few questions about salespeople.
Absolutely. Well, I'm passionate on that subject.
I know you mentioned that to me, and I'm grateful. Thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it. Something that has often fascinated me is that I think salespeople don't even realize some of the behaviors that they don't manage them in front of customers, and then customers or prospects are turned off really quick. In your estimation, how many salespeople do you see in, say, 6 months?
In 6 months? How about in a week?
In a week, okay.
In a week, I probably see 20 different salespeople.
20 different salespeople. So that would be 1,000 different salespeople a year. Are you buying from? Are some of them coming in for new products? I'm imagining
a lot of them are
you've
coming
met
in
them
for
for
new
the first
products.
time.
A lot of them are trying to get me to switch to their products, and obviously in different categories. And then a lot of them I buy products from regularly.
Okay.
So
okay.
There's like 3 different categories of salespeople.
All right. So in the category of people coming to sell you for the first time, are there things that in particular that you notice that turn you off, that salespeople are doing, or things that you like? But either way.
The first thing I must say, which is probably the one thing that will send me right back out the door, is what I call the tag team. When they come in, the salesman makes an appointment, they sound really nice, and then 2 guys show up. And that's what I call the tag team. Yeah.
So they haven't told you, oh, by the way, I'll be bringing...
No, they just bring along the extra guy, and so they got the soft sell guy, and then they got the hard sell guy, and I have to say, just from the second that I meet them, it absolutely turns me off because I know that they're doing the hard push on me, and that's not how you get my sales. No. It's not how you get my business. No. Absolutely, positively not. No. So I would say that's my number one thing that I hate. The second thing is that people come in that know nothing about my business. Have you walked around the store? Well, no. Well, how did you find out about me? Well, I was looking through supermarkets or whatever. Well, how can you sell to me if you know nothing about my business? You don't know. Well, you're a supermarket. Oh, but I'm not really a supermarket. I'm so much more. So if you don't know what my business is, you can't help me. And isn't that a true salesman's job, is to help the customer?
No preparation up front.
Exactly.
And they could do it so many ways today. Come 2 weeks before.
Go online.
Online.
Look how much information you could get online about somebody. I mean,
today.
I think there's no excuse in today's world to walk into a business and not have an idea of what their business is about.
You must have articles about your store that are online because they get published in newspapers.
We've been written by international magazines, national magazines. I've got all kinds of stuff, besides just our website where they could go in and look up stuff. So for me, that would be a no-brainer.
No kidding. So they do no research. And they come in to talk to you.
These are the worst people, right?
Yeah.
So they do no research. They come in to talk to you, and then they don't really listen to you because they think they know better than what you know about your own business. Some of my favorites.
Well, I'm shaking my head because, I do sales training and coaching, and I'm a sales manager, and I have salespeople that work for me. And I got the idea to interview people live so they can see the emotion and the passion that comes from being turned off, that people didn't respect them and respect their time. So are there other things?
I think that we're all busy. So I think when the salespeople that I really like that come in, I think that I feel like they're really concerned about my business. And I've got one guy that I've been working with for 2 years now. Now, I haven't given him any business. Sooner or later, I know he's going to end up with something. But he keeps coming up with new ideas. And every time I see him, he couldn't be any more pleasant. No problem, Cindy, that's not going to work for you. You know what? I'm going to come up with another idea. He'll send me an email. What do you think about this one? Now, I didn't get back to him for 2 weeks. I don't mind persistence. He calls me back in 2 weeks. So what did you think? You didn't get back to me? I'm sorry you got lost on my email. I think persistence in a salesperson is essential.
Well, I heard persistence, which I 100% agree with. I flashed back to times that took me 2 and 3 years to really break through with a customer.
Sometimes.
But I also heard, that he's continuing to offer help and advice and asking you questions.
And offering different things. Well, if this didn't work.
How about this? Yeah.
How about if we try this? Or I think this might work for your business. Or Cindy, we don't really work with this company, but I bet these guys could really work for you.
So even directing you to somewhere that wouldn't benefit him.
Absolutely, but doesn't it all
it's helping
come back around? It all comes back around, and I really, really believe that,
I read the book, The Go-Givers, and the idea of the book is that givers gain in the long run, and that the go-giver in selling is actually catching traction. They're gaining ground. And the other book that I thought was fascinating was Daniel Pink, where he talked about emotional quotient is going to be worth so much more than intelligence, and that's the social element of making a connection, really caring about a person's business and helping them. So there's two great books, and they talk about it becoming a movement, that salespeople are going to have to get it. That I call it commission breath. Don't have commission breath. Be there to help people, and it'll come, even if it comes from somewhere else.
Absolutely. Well, I think the other thing is that once you get the sale, so
Yeah.
you may be persistent, you get the sale,
Yeah,
follow up.
yeah,
Follow up, be consistent. There's nothing that irritates me more than somebody coming in and selling something,
And they never see 'em.
then I never see him again. And maybe it was something that was just off by that far that it needed to get fixed.
yeah.
But I can't get back a hold of them. They sort of, did it and ran, and that's really hard. I love companies that'll come in and they'll sell me. I had a gal that sold me this whole new line of, they're called Simple Square Biscuits, right? So she sent them to me. She calls me back to find out whether they're selling or not. They're not selling. Let me send you samples. Let me send you point of purchase material. Let me do this. Let me do that. Let me send a person out. So, and then she called back the next week. Did that work? No, that didn't work. How about if we give you a special discount so that you can offer a better price to your customers? Okay, now that's somebody that's working it.
Yeah.
They're calling back once a month saying, do you need a new order?
Yeah.
Is there anything I can do for you? Is there any way that we can help you?
Yeah, help you make sales.
How can we help you? Because obviously if we help you, you're helping us.
Yeah.
It's a handshake. A salesperson, I think it's not really. Maybe they should be called something different because they, business promoters. I don't know, because that's what salespeople,
They think they have the pressure to sell something right away. And I like to tell salespeople, well, let's use you for an example. How long has this store been in business?
94 years.
94 years. So they don't have to sell you something today. Chances are, I've seen the store a number of times, how beautiful it is and how different it is, that you're going to be around for another 94 years at least. They don't have to sell something today. It could be next month, it could be next week, it could be next year. But as long as they keep coming and with help and ideas and suggestions and show they're going to be around.
Exactly. And I love the fact, like my sales rep, Seth, he comes by and he'll say, and I'll say, well, what about this? Do you want this? He says, no, that guy's giving you a good price. Everybody's got to do business here, Cindy. Let's do this one over here. And he'll say, you know what? I noticed upstairs. He said, you got a case of these deli cups that you're packing all your fruit in. He's like, let me send you in a case of the clear ones and let's see if they do better for you. Well, of course they do twice as good, So that's the kind of help I'm looking for, because I'm not out there looking at the packaging or looking at this, that, and the other thing. The salespeople are out talking to all different people. They're in stores, similar to mine, and they say, gosh, I saw this great new idea. You should really try this and look at this package. And, that constant every week I look forward to seeing him. I wonder what he's got this week. I wonder what new stuff he's selling me, and I just love that. And other salespeople love him. And so doesn't one hand wash the other? Do you know what I mean? I think that really, really works.
Yeah. Well, I was pleased to hear that your enthusiasm for Seth, because he does work for me. And it's our philosophy, too, that I encourage him to do that. And I was really pleased to hear that he's kind of your eyes in the store, that in what he does, for what he does in terms of the food packaging.
Right. He's always looking at it. So, and I wish that there were more people that came in like that. But, it's in every industry. I had a guy who worked on me for about 3 years for radio, and he kept coming up, instead of just, do you want to buy radio? Do you want to buy radio? He used to come up with spots for me. Well, do you like this one? Doesn't this sound good? And he finally had one that I was like, wow, I really like that. That's really interesting. And it's brought me into a career where I've probably spent $800,000 on radio advertising over the past 10 years. But he just came in. He wasn't pushy. He was persistent. But I loved seeing him. He was a really nice guy. It's just like this other guy that's trying to sell me the other stuff. I get something from about every 2 weeks from Rob, you know what I mean? He comes in to see me, but I never feel like he's trying to make me feel guilty because I didn't buy from him. He's just trying to help me. And you know what? It really did. The radio turned out to be a huge thing for us. So, good salespeople. Can't live without them. Bad salespeople, hate them. Can't stand them. And I'm not very nice when I don't like you.
Good for you. It's best that they learn. Well, I think we've got... I am so happy that we talked and that you agreed to do this. I think it's such a teachable moment for people to see it visually. They hear all the stories, they read all the books, And I think this is going to be the next level of teaching. So
Yay!
Thank you,
Good
Cindy.
salespeople. Thank you.
thank you. Bye bye.
Best of luck.
Thank you.